I just want to because no one.
Hang my jacket up in the other room.
All right, I'm cooking.
Yeah, well, we're gonna listen to Spindle City Straight Talk, CJ and Chip, man.
I didn't put that there. I don't know. That was stuck to the stove.
What?
The butter stuck to the stove.
How?
I don't know. Not mine. It's dry. It's dry to the stove. That's all right. I'll clean it after. I wash the stove down anyway when I'm done cooking. Right now I want to cook this chicken, of course. Get this chicken and the onion cooked.
Spindle City Straight Talk.
Cook first. I need what
Because, like, if I didn't have internet, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you.
me and mom and I've been there since day one and dad.
Oh wait, this ain't the one I want.
From all of us.
And I had a foster family, too.
And you got a foster
And then
family.
I entire foster family, I had 4 foster sisters and a foster brother, a foster mom, a foster dad. They had the relatives I got to visit. I got to visit aunts and uncles of theirs. Oh man, yeah. I got to visit some of their relatives.
This chicken's gonna cook.
And their relatives seem to like me.
So we need another pan to make the roux, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so yep.
Hot pan. Flour. Fat flour equal parts.
And the
All
chicken
purpose flour.
and the chicken stock has flavor. So, oh, honey, let me tell you something. Go over the cabinet. Trust me. Okay, you see on top of the that's flour.
This is flour too.
Yes. Use the open one first.
That is open.
Is it?
Yes, it's open.
Hey Auntie, you want to know something
That's
I
why I
bought?
took this one, okay?
You want to hear something I bought yesterday?
Sure.
I bought a utility knife. Because I was doing heavy duty work that my arts and crafts knife just wasn't put up
There's
for.
nothing to mess with.
It turns out that my arts and crafts knife, the reason it wore out so much
It wasn't meant for the job.
is because I was doing duty that was heavier than what the knife was designed for. So I was wearing the blades out way faster than I was supposed to. So I got a utility razor blade knife. It's practically a razor blade with like a shell with a retractable blade. Like basically convert the blade into a retractable knife. It's very sharp and it can easily cut through things. It cuts through paper like butter, like a butter knife cutting butter.
Wow.
It is smooth. I love my knife. And I bought 50 extra blades for it, and it came with 3 of its own.
I'm glad that's not.
This heavy duty knife should last me a while because I'm going to be doing duty that's mostly lighter than what this thing is
That
designed
smells
for.
good.
So
It's
there's
gonna
a
be a
chance
little
these
bit.
things going to
And this
outlast
might take up
other
2
stuff
cans
that I have.
instead of. I think I'm gonna end up needing 2. I think I'm gonna end up making 2 of those pans.
That's fine.
So I might end up having to make a crust if that's not enough.
Okay. Hang on.
I might have to make one with
I understand.
this quick.
I get it.
Looks like
It is the right thing to do, and I have an attorney who's out of the country right now.
All right, so we got Spindle City Straight Talk on live. We'll be on Fall River Media News.
And
So look at
you have
everybody's going to
every
be listening
right
to
to do
that too
what
as
you
well.
do. You're a separate legislator. Owed the 2 times I sued the city that they didn't
We
do
want
an
to hear
audit.
Fall
They just
River
did a
Media. We want to hear Fall
reconciliation.
River
Yeah, that audit.
Oh, that audit. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
and
you.
the same, and the worst part about it is the same company keeps doing the audit.
Listen,
I already say this, Cliff, but the
We
city
got it all
council doesn't
going.
have the balls to get a new auditor.
well, yeah. Well, listen. Let me tell you.
Jay,
He
tell them.
can't tell you what to do, and you can't tell. You can't
Corrupt
negotiate a contract.
politicians.
That's not in your lane. You can appropriate a contract. You can decide not to appropriate or fund, and that's in the statute. That's in the statute. That's clear.
That's right.
It's clear. There's no doubt about that. That is clear. You are the legislative branch. You are the fiduciary. You appropriate money. As I said, if you go to 150E, and I don't want Rumsey to go, oh, it doesn't apply. That's the collective bargaining agreement for you. It is. But it buttresses that fact. It doesn't quote the part about governmental power, which it also says that you guys have to appropriate money, and even if they change the budget in midstream, it still has to go before you. There's a whole bunch of case precedents on this. But 150E Section 7, which I know fundamentally verbatim, clearly states that within 30 days of an execution of a contract, it's got to go before the appropriate body, not the mayor. He's not the appropriate body.
Appropriate body is the city council.
With people. Comes to there, then he sends down his appropriation numbers. Then you have a right to accept or reject that. If you reject it, it's done. Even though they are binding, he has to present it to the council. Attleboro did that once, and a few other places have done that. Attleboro, I think, was the last one to do it. They went before the council. They went to JLMC. Attleboro City Council said, no, we're not going to fund it. That's what's it. Even though the mayor signed it, even though the Attleboro firefighters signed it, contract null and void. See you later. No money. Bye.
That's right.
That's buttressing the law that there are two separate branches. There are two separate branches. You're the legislative body. You have the fiduciary responsibility of appropriating the taxpayers' money. And this is absurd. What he's doing is being like a spoiled child. He wants to give everybody he knows a pay raise.
Yeah. A pay raise out of our own money.
And he's going to slide that other one in. I forgot the name of it. It was leaked to me. Changed the name from something to director, and it went from $100,000 to $120,000. Another $20,000 pay raise. What is that negotiation? Was it a gift? Is there a change in what he does? Did they expand the duties and responsibilities? Probably not. And I'll give you a little collective bargaining class here. You can't demand extra money if you have what is called de minimis change. In other words, it's not that big a deal. You got to put an extra line at the end of a sentence. You can't demand a $20,000 pay raise. You're not going to win that when you litigate. And I've done a lot of litigation with this stuff. This is outrageous.
Ridiculous.
You can't negotiate a contract. It's your job to fund it. He can't tell you and mandate the funds. He just can't say, I'm going to give the funds out. You can't give the funds. You're the executive branch, you freaking moron.
Coogan is a moron. What do you want?
I mean, this is crazy. This is just crazy. I had a conversation the other day with somebody that said, in all the years they've been in Fall River, and they have been intimately involved in government in Fall River and observers in Fall River, they have never seen this city in the mess it's in now because of Coogan. For 6 years, he's done absolutely nothing.
I never saw it neither.
Investigation? You can't say investigation of Paul Coogan. Investigate Malone. No. I'm not investigating him. I'm not investigating anybody. I'm just going to let them out the door with their pension, let them out without litigation, because they might rat something out that I did. I don't know why.
He's a member of the club.
But there's no transparency, no accountability in this city, and hasn't been since he set foot in that office. And it's up to the council to hold him accountable now. Stop doing. No, listen, that's part of the game. Paul Coogan's complaining about exactly what his party does. What have they done in Washington? You want to pay ICE. We don't like ICE. We want an abolish, so we're not going to pay anybody. We're going to hold everybody hostage. But now they caved a little bit. The Senate, now the House, and the bouncing around. It's terrible to use people as pawns. But the reality is,
I said the same thing.
And him being an absolute, he wants to be an absolute dictator, and he's offended because you said, well, you know, if you're not gonna uphold your word, which frankly I'm very disappointed that anybody would ever take Paul Kruger's word after 6 years of never keeping.
I never took his word, even when he first ran.
Surprised that he made you a promise that he didn't keep. It's like, yeah, I'm going to change the form of government. Where's that? I'm going to change it to civil service. Nobody checked to see if he called for a test. Immediately after he made that commitment, there should have been a request sent to civil service to have an exam.
But then I wouldn't be able to put my girlfriend into the position of chief.
And frankly, to give it statewide, you might as well just get a contract chief. And you want my opinion? And it's an opinion. Civil service, at least you have to take a test and pass it. And but if you're going to open it up to the whole state, you might as well just bring it on and put him on the contract.
Yeah.
You could get rid of him if he doesn't do the job a lot more quickly, because once they come into a civil service position, now they have sections 41 through 45 when they're terminated. It's a very long and protracted and expensive way to get rid of them. And the good thing about that is you can't get rid of somebody who's doing their job because you don't like them if they're doing a good job. But you have to have cause to do it, not just I don't like the guy politically. So, but everything has its own merit. But at least with a civil service exam, you have to compete. You have to take it there. Well, a classic example of that is how do we separate politics from civil service? Mike Coogan.
Get rid of Mayor Paul Coogan.
Brother. He couldn't make captain. He couldn't test his way to captain. He couldn't get a high enough mark to make the rank of captain. So he kissed the mayor's ass. They went to contract, and he became the fire chief. Jumped over district chief, deputy chief, chief of the department, 145 people, seniority, testing, and everything. Guy that couldn't be a captain thought he could be in charge of it. He lasted 13 days. Read the letter I wrote to the Herald News. This is the problem. No accountability at all.
No transparency either.
In civil service, you have to be at least smart enough to pass an exam and get in the top 3.
Man, my grandson can pass. My grandson can pass
process.
The civil service test.
Well, the process is they negotiate, you appropriate. What do we used to say? What do we always say? The mayor proposes.
The city council disposes.
Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. Paul forgot. Wait a minute. He's a vice principal.
Hey, he's a vice principal. He knows nothing. He don't know how to
know that.
He never taught a class. Never taught a class. He was a school adjustment counselor.
School adjustment counselor.
So.
Yeah, no, but this is crazy. And you got to stand up. This is it. I mean, this city is going to go in a toilet. And the corporation.
It's already in a toilet. The corporation
not
council.
His personal corporation council. Get rid of the law department. Defund the law department.
Get rid of the law department.
Make hire on an unnecessary. Keep one lawyer. One lawyer to handle potholes.
Potholes.
You know, and everybody, you know, we don't need a law department. They keep hiring more and more lawyers to do what? Have we ever litigated with our lawyers any? Well, Cliff is watching. I don't know who else was. Give me one case that the city of Fall River has ever used our attorneys, our great law department, to litigate. I've been doing this for a long time. I have never seen a major case in the city of Fall River litigated by the Fall River Law Department. They farm it out. So we pay for them to come down to the city council and lie to the council. Oh, you have to do this. My interpretation is that. Oh, I'm working for the mayor. That's right. Yeah, pathological, not perpetually, but that's enough. We're going to have another P. The perpetual pathological prevaricator, Paul. So we can get 4 in that thing. But I mean, this is nuts. I'm sorry, this is nuts. I was talking, like I said, to somebody that said they've never seen a city this bad. They've never seen such a total disregard for process and separation of the powers. And you know, the reality is in government, maybe they don't teach civics anymore. They should.
So you can't do that to me.
It's not
Paul
about,
obviously never took it.
I did.
yeah. Well, he never took anything except a paycheck. But
That's right.
Please, sorry.
But it's not about holding hands and singing kumbaya. We have a tripartite system of government on the federal government, the law. We don't have really a judicial department on this. We've got separations of government. We've got legislative, executive, and in cities, legislative and executive. You're not supposed to love each other. You're supposed to do your separate jobs. It's a
That's right.
Yeah, if he does the right thing, you support it. If he does the wrong thing,
That comes to
you're
CJ.
supposed to not
Shoot it down.
support it.
Right.
As I said, the legal precedent that I have zillions of clearly state that it's their duty. It's your duty to. Oh, look at this. No, I always keep my stacks handy here. So let's look at this one again. What's that say?
From Cornell Law School.
Cornell Law School,
Oh, Cornell Law School.
Legal Information Institute.
Not that they're credible.
No big deal.
Right.
At least it wasn't
This says
or something sticky or nasty.
Right.
Just plain old
the duty of care requires the directors, who in this case the city council, to inform themselves prior to making a bid of all material available to them.
No, because my knees bother me too. I'm having massive pain in my knees.
They have to have sufficient opportunity to get all information, and this is the key. This is the key right here. And if you look at paragraph 3, and here's the case site. That's Smith versus Van Goren about that, those two. But look at this one, Moran versus Household Intern Inc. Moreover, a director, i.e. city councilor, may not simply accept the information presented. Rather, the director / city councilor, in that case, the director of the finances, must assess the information with. And it is, I didn't put the whole face in. This came from Cornell University.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It says, with a critical eye. That doesn't mean you accept Bridget Allman saying, we're looking at some investments down the road. It means you've got to get a presentation of the investment portfolios they're looking at, like we do with the retirement.
Yeah.
That's all you can use that.
And this is the problem. He's been allowed to run amok far too long. I mean, this guy is just out of his mind. because he believes in the team.
I can leave this open, get cool in here.
Whatever I want. You have to do. We have to cover up everything. We have to do it. Yeah, well, I can tell you something. It's not anything that makes you think more clearly. Yeah, he read most of it. Yeah, well, there you go. That's Paul. I think, and how many times has he lied just in that press conference? Didn't he say that he did not agree with the investigation, yet we have very reputable people, not one, but three, that said they met, and he said he had no problem with having an investigation. Am I correct in that assumption, CJ?
Actually, what he said was, I have no problem with your investigation. I'm just not going to hang my hat on it.
This is all.
Yeah,
Quote,
which is
unquote.
Paul, which is Paul speak for, I don't care what they find, I'm going to do what I want.
That's right.
That's what he means by that. But that sounds more like Paul.
Well, me and Paul Coogan's a dictator anyway.
Okay, so I made the room.
Yeah, none of them read anything altogether. That's why Rumsey keeps thinking we're a type A charter.
Everything she's making for me. Oh, that's the great deal.
I'm surprised he even knows we got a charter.
Tastes
I-
so good.
I mean, these people are not. He's too busy doing, working his new side gig, being a market rate housing.
Market rate housing person. He violated 40C,
Guys, my
violated a historic district, listed the historic preservation on a building so he can make it market rate housing. With all the people in the city fighting against it, and he said, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's crazy, and the city council's got to step up. This guy is totally. He's been a rogue mayor since he got in. Never was transparent. Never was accountable for anything. Hid everything from the people. Yeah, they mentioned a charter, and Paul never has ever kept his word, ever.
No, he hasn't.
It's just
Remember the tax break? Remember the tax break?
oh yeah.
Remember the promise
Remember
of
that.
debt exclusion we paid off in 8 years? Where's that?
Yeah, we can just keep going.
I can keep going on and on and on.
Yep,
I'm
that's
telling you, I'm doing this so much I want to defecate.
Well, please, if you're going to defecate, please do it on the 6th floor of the government center.
Exactly.
We should all defecate, go up there.
No, if you remember, I remember when Alphonse dumped trash on the 6th floor government center.
Yeah.
Oh, Alfonso.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yes, it was.
But you just, I just got a litany of stuff that we can just keep looking for
Alfonso.
of his his bullshit promises. And there's another one. I'm just thumbing through things. Remember this one, TJ?
Yes.
We're just going to keep elevating ourselves to what? All you did was elevate all your friends' salaries.
And then you put that in the oven.
That's all you've done. And that's all you ever do. And now, like I said, you're out of control because you're on your way out. You're going to make sure everybody you get is taken care of, and at the expense of the taxpayers. And it's illegal. Technically, what they're doing is just, like I said, you got to talk to a real lawyer, not these clowns, not these agencies that represent cities and then say, okay, all they are is glorified corporation councils. Because what they do is, as you got found out so vividly, the time they had one opinion for you that fit what you wanted, which I think was the correct opinion, but they also, it was revealed that in another community they were getting paid for, they had an opposite opinion.
Exactly.
That's not the kind of lawyer you need.
That's right.
And now we'll start at the beginning, because every story has a beginning. It hasn't gotten to the end yet, but this is the draft before Paul got into office. So I blew up with the telling him where they got the money from. Every time I read this, I gotta laugh. It stops from throwing up. Integrity and a well-run, well-organized city government are the Coogan administration's highest priorities. This is the foundation on which we can continue to build a clean, safe, and financially sound. Transparency, accountability, and ethical standards will be the foundation of this administration.
That's what he said. That's what Coogan said.
Not one of those things have been ever part of his administration. You know, I mean, you can just keep going. You know, the well-functioning city is defined by safe, well, not safe, well-maintained streets, clean, vibrant neighborhoods, efficiency, public service. I mean, read it. Anybody that wants this, I give you a copy. See, this is the problem. I save this stuff because it always comes back. If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And Coogan's got a 6-year history. And now, as a lame duck mayor, he doesn't care anymore. He's not even pretending to care about the taxpayers or any other branch of government. And it's up to us as a people to do something about it. And like I said, I know some very good lawyers, but you got to get somebody who's not a hired, somebody who just represents all kinds of cities and will draft generic opinions, because they're pseudo de facto corporation councils. They're gonna. It's like getting a study. You pay for the study; those studies normally come out the way you want them to come out because you're paying for the study. Well, you need a lawyer with integrity. Actually,
On the right-hand side.
there are lawyers like that. I know those lawyers.
Well, as avocado is
They will not
below you.
give you an opinion that they don't believe in.
Avocado is.
They will not draft an opinion that they feel is not in compliance with the law. They're not going to bend interpretations. So that's what ambulance chasers do, not real lawyers. That's why these guys make millions of dollars. They're not working
4 eggs.
for the city of Fall River
I need 4 eggs.
because they can't make a paycheck.
Oil.
Well, listen, we can agree on one thing, Josh. He's always been lame. So I don't know. And a duck, that might be an insult to ducks anyway. I don't like that. But yeah, you can, David. I can. I'll get one to you. Just
So back in the days of old 8-bit computers,
just-
there was actually two.
you and I will.
There was an NTSC.
We'll either get together or I'll email it to you. Stuff. I can.
There are 2 different types of motherboards.
You know, but it's all.
I'm thinking about
Like I
things
said, it's all
Commodore
it's just
64
political horse shit. You know,
motherboard.
we're gonna have a clean, safe city. We're gonna have this.
There are
Then he went on to do nothing that he promised. So it's,
NTSC versions.
we don't need.
Was much.
But the only good thing is we have it in writing, because Paul really has
Those were analog.
the worst case of political amnesia I have ever seen on a human being, because he forgot what he said like 2 minutes
Oh
ago.
my god.
He met with 3 people and said, "What did CJ say?" I'm not going to hang my hat on it, but I don't have a problem with you doing it. Now all of a sudden he's got a big problem with you doing it.
That's right.
So
That's right.
how can you deal with somebody like that?
Hey, and I wasn't ignoring you, Chicky. Chicky 711 said on YouTube, LOL. Yes, an opinion.
Yeah, that's right, an opinion.
An opinion. Understand it. It's an opinion. It's not a pronouncement from the mouth.
Yeah, when did Rumsey have the stone tablets carved when he was given that opinion because he just came down from the mount with Moses? I don't know. He thinks he's the Supreme Court. See, that's the difference between those guys and real lawyers. Real lawyers are not afraid to litigate. When you're right, you're right. When I dealt
And remember, Fall River lawyers are so good that when they appear in a Boston court, they think, "Oh no, Fall River again! Get the hell out of here!"
That's right. That one's so old. CJ. Actually, I don't have it around my computer anymore. I got it up in the attic with my files. But we had a lawyer say in the newspaper, and it was in a Herald, but it was a reprint of what they said in the Boston papers that I'm paraphrasing now, but it's pretty close. I'm sick and tired of seeing Fall River in my courtrooms. They never abide by the law. So we are infamous, not famous, infamous. Yeah, well,
it's nice to be delusional, James.
Yeah, well, it's nice to be delusional.
And remember, they're all part of the club.
Because when you're delusional, you think that the lack of reality is reality. We have good lawyers. Why don't they litigate them? Why don't they litigate it? Why don't they litigate everything? Every time there's a major litigation, if Rumsey can't settle, he farms it out.
Which he does all the time.
He's not going to court. These lawyers are useless. We should not have a law department.
No.
As a matter, we should have one guy for potholes. That's it. After that,
no, we don't even have a workers' compensation group.
We should have Howiak handles workers' comp. I know he's been handling that for years.
But what I'm saying is, why do we keep hiring more lawyers? For debt?
Yeah.
Dunsey?
Well, they can come down.
Howiak?
Yeah, so they can come down. Howiak's been around for years. But,
yes, I know.
We hire lawyers to give them jobs. That's why. Because they don't do any litigation. They go down to city council and try to bullshit the city council. That's what they do. Yeah, if you didn't read an affidavit, you go to court and you go to a real courtroom, the judge is going to take it and strangle you with it because I'm serious.
I know.
I'm serious. I saw a judge in Boston in a case that we were involved in tell the city of Fall River's attorney when his case was predicated on one sentence, not the full complaint and law. He said, attorney, you cannot take one sentence out of a law, out of context. You have to look at the whole law and the intent of the law. Get out of my courtroom, and we won the case. These people are they're pathetic. They're pathetic. And
you want me to add any special ingredients to it? Nothing or anything, really. No walnuts or anything?
Well,
okay. We'll go plain vanilla.
we need people to run. I mean, we need people to run. But like I said, you've got to remember, you're going to run in this city. You've got to start about a year in advance. You've got to start going to neighborhood meetings. You've got to begin to build networks and stuff because these people all have some voter base that they did favors for. So you have to really get some name recognition and be known. And the city's ready for a change. As CJ said, the reaction to what's going on is kind of like the reaction we got when we started the recall in earnest. I think the people of Fall River have seen enough. Now Paul's dumb enough to go in front of a camera and show everybody what a total
prick he is.
He thinks he is.
A dictator.
No, you had your.
What a whiner.
Shorten that. Shorten that a little bit. Shorten that a little bit. You said dictator. Shorten that.
Yeah, I know.
What a total dick he is.
I didn't swear. I did not say that.
Yeah, well, we got a guy with no closet as mayor. That's why they picked him. He never did anything in his life except collect a paycheck. Was a teacher that never taught in a classroom, never became a school principal, got his vice principalship and walked around high-fiving the kids and telling the other half to get out of school. You'll never amount to anything.
That's right.
And now they put him in. You know, if you're going to run for office, you're going to be scrutinized, and you know that's just the way it is. But let's see. You know, Buddy Cianci had something in his closet. He got reelected, and he did a good job. But this is outrageous. I mean, I find it. If I didn't know this was reality because it's Fall River, you would not believe this. If anybody writes about this at some point in time and somebody finds this book in a time capsule, they're going to think it was fiction. Stuff like this doesn't happen. You don't have a mayor hiding everything from the public and getting elected 4 times.
Yeah, but you know what? You got to blame where the blame is due. On the people. On the people.
And you also got to blame some of the candidates because they thought they were going to win strictly on name recognition. You got to go out there and do the work. You know, you got to go out there and do the work. If you don't get out there and meet the people, no, you're right, James. He only came back for that express purpose. But once they got him back, they found a jewel. Look at this guy. This guy's like, everybody looks at him and thinks he's harmless. We can get him elected. And he'll promise to be in for 1 term, and then you can't get rid of him. He's like the bubonic plague.
Bubonic plague.
But it still gets back to what CJ says, the people. Now the people, let the people rise up. They're upset. Let them support the council. Let them support the fact that we need accountability. Listen, I'm not, and I think that the thing that Cliff released about if Coogan really thought there was nothing wrong, he should be totally in favor of an investigation, which is true. It's true. As a wise man once said, the truth never fears investigation.
That is true.
I still got the headline from the city of Fall River that said that we were broke. We didn't have any money in the healthcare system. And I didn't take their word. I did it with a hand calculator that said that's impossible because we paid in more than the bills. And then we got a forensic audit. We got somebody from out. We didn't get some Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We got Ernst & Young, one of the best accounting firms. And in that thing, we found out that they had robbed all kinds of people. And they had to pay us back with interest. And in that arbitration, we had the city's financial team testify under oath, and I have that, court stenographer, verbatim, where the auditor and the treasurer and the person who did the required independent audit annually admitted they never really did an audit. All they did was do a reconciliation and a recreation. They used both of those terms, which means that they made the numbers fit like a puzzle. They didn't corroborate. And they said, and when our attorney said, why did you not do an accurate audit? They said, because the books were in such disarray, we could not ever get enough numbers to do it exactly. So they lied. They submitted an audit that was supposed to be an audit that wasn't an audit, and on the oath, I was only interested about getting our money back, and but actually, with what happened in that arbitration, they should have put most of them in jail, but they didn't. They stayed on for a while and got pay raises. So, welcome to Fall River.
Welcome to Fall River. No crime. Mayor Paul Coogan says no crime in the city.
No, of course.
No,
Yeah.
no new crime.
Yeah, I love it with veto. That must have been his word of the day. I'm going to veto. He thinks he's
No new crime. Yeah, no new crime. Today I was just me and my wife and
well, that's a very good point.
And her friend was on the bus. There was almost a
That's
fight
a very good
on the
point,
110
Fatima.
bus.
No conflict of interest there.
Never conflict of
Yeah.
interest.
From the bus terminal. Yeah, no new crime going on.
Of course. They all got family jobs. They always do. Look at Ann O'Neill Souza. She's a secretary. A glorified secretary.
Yeah. No
And
new
they just
crime.
gave her a pay raise of over $100,000.
There was almost a
Come on.
The cop showed up at the
Nice
bus
gig
terminal.
if you can get it.
Yeah. That position originally was a person banging the mayor.
No
Way
new
back
crime.
when. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Paul, man,
No, you're
Paul,
right. Way
Man,
back.
man,
Yep.
Paul
Way
Coogan's
back
got
when that
a-
position was created.
Man, Paul Coogan is
That was the
shuts a
old
blind
line.
eye on
It's
everything.
not what you
No
know,
new crime
it's
at
who
all.
you.
no new crime
Don't
here,
give Paul
Paul River.
any ideas. He might change all his friends to the janitor's titles to sanitary engineer and give him $100,000 pay raise, because that's what they did with the quote unquote chief of staff. That was
Right.
a secretary's job. They just changed it to chief of staff to justify a pay raise. Just like this recent raise I talked about at the beginning of the show, $20,000 pay raise to somebody because they changed the name from whatever to director.
No, they're not going to be custodial. Not going to be custodial engineers. They're going to be custodial directors.
Studio
That's even
directors. Ooh,
That's right.
20.
Custodial directors.
Good one, CJ. You could be a negotiator for Paul.
That's right.
I negotiated for Paul.
Yeah.
Left my.
Custodial directors. I like that title.
You can be a negotiator.
Yeah,
for
we
Paul.
know. We want to know what she's hiding for him. Is she hiding anything from him? I don't know. Allegedly, you never know. Hey.
We know Mayor Paul
And-
Coogan. is
And
hiding- is
he's
hiding
gone
Paul.
on record and said that they were very close together. They worked very closely
Mayor
together.
Paul Coogan's
Just
got-
like Tracy Curley worked very closely
Yeah.
together,
Mayor
but
Paul-
never recused himself from those issues.
Mayor Paul
Should have
Coogan's got
recused
he's
himself
hiding
from the
something.
negotiations.
That's right.
Mayor Paul Coogan's got skeletons in his closet again. Oh boy, he's hiding things from the people.
Don't insult morons that way.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, kudos to maybe let's see what happens now. Let's see how this plays out. This is crazy. Let's hope that recall. The weather's breaking hopefully shortly, and
Well, supposedly they're having a kickoff rally on April 12th. I don't know if that's the day they're signing the papers or not. The 10 taxpayers. But April 12th,
It is April 12th.
I believe that's a Sunday,
It's Sunday.
the Sunday after Easter. And we'll see what happens.
where is it being held?
I don't know. Again, these people don't have their shit together. They have to make this information, put it out clearly. We turned around and we said it was going to be held on this date, at this time, at the Fall River Lodge of Elks. Did we not?
Yes,
The
and
first
then we
meeting?
and then we signed the papers at the Liberal Club.
At the Liberal Club.
That's right. We had our first organizational meeting when people got together at the Elks, and then we went to the Liberal Club to and took videos of the people the 10 people who signed.
Yes, Michelle, that mayor did marry his chief of staff.
Correct. Correctamundo.
That's right.
Yes.
And now that mayor's making almost $400,000 a year, doing government
Where
work.
else? In the education department.
No, he's not doing that anymore. He's now
he's
doing
not
something.
doing it. What's he in
He's
now?
now doing something in business promotion or something.
Well, it's just another title. The salary follows them around. He's making $300,000.
I don't think so. Nobody's asked us. We've
No.
already had our bite at that apple, and we're done.
I
Put away
believe,
Brett.
look, as I said, I believed at the beginning he wasn't going to make it through the first half of his term. But you know something? With the outrageous behavior he's displayed lately, I think truly is. He's become unhinged. And I think that, unfortunately, that he really has to be thrown out. I mean, the people have got to rise up just for the fact of getting the people together again and reminding them the power they can have when they vote. We did it with Flanagan. They need to do it again. They need to get the people of Fall River together to say, look, I don't care if we agree on everything, but we agree on one thing. If these people are going to represent us, they have to represent us.
I guess that's where they're going to be having their kickoff event, 90 Pond Street, Fall River.
And what is nine?
I don't know what 90 Pond Street is, but it's probably a private residence. But I would have done it in a more public place. But, each to their own. Each to their own.
Okay. I will send you that. No, it's a very, very complicated thing. People think it's just about getting signatures on but we have to go to court. We have to go in front of the Board of Elections. We have to get a lawyer. We have to people don't realize we did it. CJ would I would go around on my motorcycle, pick up all the signatures, and I would bring them to CJ. CJ would then bring them to a place where we had people in a kitchen, and we
Collating them.
three copies of every single petition, so we could have one for us, one for the court, and one for the records. And then they went over all those signatures preemptively to ensure that we would already have flagged any signature that was going to be challenged by the Board of Elections or in court, so we could counter that challenge. So there's a lot of moving parts if you're going to do this right, because if you fail at any one of those parts, you're going to go down. If we went to court and lost, we would have went down. If we would have went in front of the board without a lawyer, well, all those things have to be coordinated. So you need somebody who knows how to, coordinate. You need to do that stuff. You need to make copies of things. You need to have people. And those people that we had on Birch Street in the kitchen, they did a lot of work, because we got literally hundreds
Till
of
midnight. Some nights till midnight, 2 a.m.
That's right.
So,
That's right. And CJ would then run them down to City Hall with all the
voter registration
voter
forms and
registration
everything.
that we collected, which we also had a list of those, so we could
Right.
make sure. So it's not as simple as we want to do a recall and we think we should have a recall. They are going to fight it. They're gonna drag you up. You're gonna have to have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. It's not easy.
It's not an easy task. That's for sure.
But it needs to be done. Get the people together again. But it brought a lot of people together. Look at the recall. We had
Problem is they didn't stay together after it was done. That was the
Yeah,
big
well,
problem.
you know, that's to be expected, but what they forgot was the power of the people. United we stand, divided we fall. You do not have to have like the same baseball team. You do not have to have the same political ideology. You, as long as you want good government and you have somebody that's not doing their job, you should get together. It's called a force multiplier in the military. You know, there's a great, you know, remember what a wise man once said: the enemy of my enemy is my friend. He doesn't have to be my friend, but he is the enemy of my enemy. We share an enemy. And that enemy are corrupt, incompetent politicians who are not working for us. That's what they forgot. They went their separate ways. Probably we're all responsible. Maybe we should have had a reunion every year or something like that, just to not talk politics or anything, but just celebrate the fact that they all work hard. We always give credit where credit is due. Those people in that kitchen, like you said, work till midnight some nights. Guys like Josh and the people that were out there, they were out there every day on weekends.
From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. From 8 a.m.
I'm out there working too
Well,
myself.
Scott, you don't need unity. What you need is a force multiplier. You're united for a certain cause. When that cause is gone, I mean, it's like, okay, you don't like the Red Sox, you don't go to Red Sox games. But if you both agree that we need to work together, I said the enemy of my enemy, and that's the key. But what you do is you don't ever forget that you need to come together with people that maybe you don't agree on everything with, but to change the political system. The most contentious debate, some of the most contentious debate that ever took place was in the Continental Congress. When America was created, they literally were at each other's throats fighting over how it should be done. But they got together and they did it. You can't keep everybody together all the time. I mean, you can say we have a common cause. We will reunite to fight the bad politics. We don't have to go to this. We don't have to like the same teams. We don't have to have the same ideology. But we have to have something in common about government. It has to work for us. Because remember what Jefferson said: if you allow a government to get so powerful it can give you everything you want, it can take everything you have.
Well, it's been a great show. I want to thank you all for watching. We will follow this over the weekend, and we'll be back to you on Monday to talk more about the corruption and inept behavior of a foregone, fundamentally foolish mayor and a city council that hopefully is growing a set of balls. I want to thank you for watching, and remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Well, that's the end of that's the end of Spindle City Straight Talk with Chip and CJ. Well, today that we experienced another fight on a bus at the Fall River bus station. Again, a bunch of school kids, wanted to come on the bus, and good thing the bus driver was there and stopped them from coming on the bus, because it would have been a disaster. The other kid on the bus opened up the window and caused the other kid to come over to go like this to the back doors and come in. So but the other kid was pretty upset. But the police officers again in the news, police officers again was at the Fall River bus station. 1, 2, 3, 4 cruisers showed up, and yeah. So, but anyways, there is going to be a recall on April 12th, and there is going to be one April 12th, and whoever wants to go and support the actual recall, I mean, you're all welcome to call. You're welcome to actually come. So I don't know if it's going to be paper signing, signing the affidavit there. So I don't know, but it might be at the Liberal Club. So who knows? But hey, but Mayor Paul Coogan, yeah, I mean, he should have not, got involved with that with that investigation with the police department, and he should have just let the investigation played out. That's what he should have done. So he vetoed the investigation. City councils, the majority, 2 to 3 vote, which is, I'm glad, I'm saying, that they got it. So they got the majority of the vote, 2 to 3 vote. But my thing is, there is a lot of corruption going on in the police department, and and it needs to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't really actually let this stuff slide. You know what I'm saying? You can't, and you really can't let this stuff slide. And I think Cliff Ponte and Christopher Peckham and Michelle Dion, and I think I thank them for stepping up and stepping up. I thank Christopher Peckham and Cliff Ponte and Michelle Dion for stepping up. You know what I'm saying? And doing the right thing. Linda Pereira did not want it. She did not support the investigation. So I don't know what she's hiding. I don't know what Mayor Paul Coogan's hiding. I mean, Mayor Paul Coogan's got stuff in his closet, skeletons in his closet. So I don't know what he's hiding. But if we decide if the recall is successful and we get and we recall Mayor Paul Coogan out of office, he has to leave. I think he's got 60 days or something to leave office once he's recalled. And I think Cliff Ponte will be again. Cliff Ponte is the president of the city council. I think he will actually step up and be the acting mayor. So we'll see. We'll see what happens during the recall, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. So take care, everybody. Have a great day. This is Dave Mead, Fall River Media News. I always bring the news, and play Spindle City Straight Talk live on my Fall River Media News to get the message out. So take care, everybody. Have a great day. Actually, have a great night.